So here we are then, the Italian Grand Prix, Monza, and we've got all kinds of different things ready to look at, including some new paint schemes for Alfa and Ferrari for this weekend. Alfa Romeo looks extravagant, it's got the tricolour on it. Ferrari's just added a bit of that yellow stripe they had last season, but only a little bit of it. I think it's to be a bit similar to the to their Le Mans hypercar, isn't it, that won Le Mans. So they're hoping that doing that will add more competitiveness. But from what I remember, I think Ferrari... Wasn't it historically the yellow was quite an unlucky colour for them, and when they put more yellow on their paint schemes and less red in their paint schemes, they tend to perform worse? I seem to remember that being something that came up around, what, like 2017 with the White Shark then? But either way, the Temple of Speed and... well, even according to F1's own thing, Williams are looking to have this one on a better tracks. I mean, historically, Williams have run better. It's one where if you run a really low downforce setup, it can work quite well, and Williams tends to be one of the teams that struggled with generating downforce. I don't know how true that is, really, with this regulation cycle, but... I mean, it could be the case. I know Albon's probably going to be trying to make up for last year, isn't he? Because, of course, he didn't get to do the race. That's where Nick de Vries came in as a one-off and ended up getting a top 10 finish. But, yeah, I'm not so sure. I think the performance last week, I still haven't watched the Dutch Grand Prix, so I'll do the review when I've actually watched that, was more emblematic of how much of a freak show the race was and the qualifying than actually the out-and-out performance of the Grove-based team. But, I mean, historically they've performed well at Monza. Someone else who has typically been Lance Stroll, so be interested to see how the Canadian does. Because I believe Aston, I mean, whilst it was the better Mercedes car at the start of the season, I believe the tracks where they tend to perform better are the ones with the blends of corners, not necessarily like all high speed, though. Of course, there are some low and medium speed at Monza. It's just that it's, you know, the temple of speed. But another thing that stood out for me for this weekend is that it's another one of those tyre rules ones where it's hard compound in Q1, medium in Q2, and soft in Q3. They don't have a sprint, which is, I guess, because they're diversifying where they do their sprint races. But for me, Monza seems like a fantastic place to have a sprint race because it is the Slipstream Fest and you get all of this different action. I feel like some of the ones they've done before, so Silverstone and Monza and Brazil, Interlagos, are the best places to have these kinds of things. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that impacts on the qualifying order. I guess the last question is, does Max Verstappen set a new record? He's now tied with Sebastian Vettel. It's what, 9 races in a row? Will he do 10 in a row, the first one to get double digits? I think it will be, at this point, as impressive for it to be yes and no. If he does, it'll be impressive because it's something that we've never seen before in Formula 1 and we probably won't see again. I mean, look at how often Mercedes was dominating the sport, and you didn't see Hamilton and Rosberg getting 9 race wins in a row. It was only Vettel that did. I guess you could talk about Ascari, but that depends on if you decide to count the Indy 500, which did count towards F1, but was not usually won by F1 cars or F1 drivers for that matter. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see something different happen, but also need to be in awe just in case records are broken. It's been weird watching F1 for about 15 years now, and I think most of the records that were there when I was watching it have been broken or matched since. I mean, heck, that Vettel record was in the time I was watching it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.